Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial video. I've never done one on the channel, and I figured it'd be kind of cool to do, give it a shot. And it's been something I've been wanting to do for a while with some of the games I know and play and passionate about and whatnot. And one of them is this yard sale simulator. We play this a lot, we love this game. And I've never done any type of tutorial videos, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to hop in and I'm going to teach you guys some things, break some things down, and hopefully help anybody out. That I'm not going to say you're going to struggle in this game, but if you have any questions, hopefully this can answer those questions. Today's tutorial is going to be on the tools that are in Yard Sale Simulator. Some people don't know what kind of tool repairs what. What does a screwdriver repair? What does the plunger repair? And how often should you use the touch-up paint or something like that? So today we're going to hopefully answer as many questions as we can. If anybody has anything to add to it, please add in the comments below. It's great to hear from everybody and their perspective, and maybe I might have missed something. And I do plan on doing more tutorials in the future on a few other games that I play. But for right now, we're going to dive down into Yard Sale Simulator and figure out the tools that are in the game. Okay, now we're loaded in. This is, you guys recognize this as Beachy Goods. This was where I started my bad collecting habit in Yard Sale Simulator when I try to collect everything. I'm still trying to collect everything in the game. Still do not have everything in the game, so I won't be showing everything in this video or even a future video. I just don't have it all. And then this turned into my store so I could sell some stuff while I collect stuff over there in that building. So now for tutorial purposes, this is now one of my tutorial buildings. So let's go ahead and walk on in and see what I have set up. So when the game starts, you are going to start very first off an air compressor. My suggestion, anytime you fish anything, anytime you get something new, it's going to be dirty. You're going to need the air compressor for everything. Line everything up and just air compress everything down. Don't swap between tools. That's the first tutorial. Don't swap between tools. Lay everything out. Spray it all. Back in the day, it used to be that when you sprayed something down, it would put itself away, and then you have to pull it back out. That's not the case anymore. Now, just spray everything down. So you got something like this. Okay, so you got the air compressor. So we're going to go ahead and use it. Any interaction in the game is the E. So you use it, you spray it down anytime it's dirty. This is for 100% of items you fish out or you rummage in dumpsters or what have you. You're going to sit back and spray everything down 100%. The next step is, I'd say 50% of the time, pretty close to, you're going to need the putty and the paint, which is the touch-up paint. I'm using the tools that are on the bench and not on my belt in case some people are early in the game, just in case anybody wants to know. That's why I'm actually using these tools. So yeah, so you get the putty, although this one ironically doesn't need putty, but it does need something else. We'll get to that in a second. So, and you'll know if it needs putty. I'm going to go ahead and hit the putty anyhow, but you can't use it on this. So it doesn't need the putty, but never hurts to try. And then when you get done with the putty, 100% of the time, if it needs putty, it's going to need the paint. So might as well do that next. So anything you get, you fish out, most of the time you're going to need to use the canned air, the putty, and the paint. I always do those in that particular order. If you watch any of my videos or streams, always 100% of the time, those are the tools I utilize first. And it's stuff you get as soon as the game starts. Day one. And we got the coolest figures in this game, FYI. So there we go. There's that. Okay, after that, the next thing you're going to get is the Dent Remover. Day one. So what I have over here, I have some Dent Removers on display. You're going to pick up the Dent Remover. Most of the time, the figures, the dents are in the center. On these motors, you're going to get it down here. which I'll show you that in a second. I can't use it here because I don't have the canister near me. But this is everything you'll need the dent remover for in the game. One of everything. I'm not doing every variation in the game. Everything in a game basically has 3 different variations. So back to my Catman back here, you got 3 different variations. Mr. Pawns has 3 different variations. There's 3 different types of flutes, watches. There's the 3 rings right there. Goblets. So you're going to get 3 different variations of everything. So if you look at this, the items you're going to need to dent with are the PCs, the buckets, the drums, the anchors, the stereos. Most of the content creators, some of them can be a little tricky. Some you might think is a plush, and we'll get to that in a second. But most of the content creators are you plunge. Your terry tails, your helmets, your bats, your mugs. Most of your dishes, something to think about. Most of your video game themselves, not the systems, just the video games, even if they're disc-based, they're going to need a plunger. There's another goblet. There's the plates. Your weapons, like your swords and whatnot. Your normal outside equipment, like your saws and your hose and stuff like that. The TVs will need them. The barbells. There's a pan. Ironically, this chair needs a plunger. The gnomes, the motors, the clock you don't see back there. We got the clock. All this stuff needs plungers. Now, the trick is, this is where it kind of tricks you. Wall shelf, you might think needs something else, which most of them do. But if it's labeled plastic, that's the whole idea behind everything. If it's mostly plastic or like metal that get dented, that's when you need a plunger. So the plastic shelves do need a plunger to repair. So if you get stuck on that, pull out the dent remover and it'll fix you up on them plastic shelves. And basically all you have to do, and I actually can't do it at the... let's go ahead and to move something is shift R. So let's shift Mr. Pawns over here and grab one of these plungers. There he is. And then I'm going to use it. And then you'll see sometimes you'll see the dent mark, sometimes you won't. You're going to hold down until you hear the suction cup eventually stop. And there you go. Just like that. And now Mr. Pawns is all good to go. You're welcome, Mr. Pawns. That is our dent remover. Let me put this guy back down over here for display. So there's that. That's that. Actually, I think I could have used that here. I forgot to set them on display. I need to use the workbench. Okay, so that is the plunger. Then the next thing we're going to level up will be the screwdriver, which is right behind us. Many things get the screwdriver. So this is a screwdriver, and any of your like firearms, that's the revolver, the guns, or anything like that. Screwdriver, your cameras, and how I said the video games over here, well, most of your systems are going to use screwdriver. I think all of them use a screwdriver now that I think about it. And where I was talking about the shelving, the plastic shelving uses the suction cup. The wooden shelving, on the other hand, where you get the wall shelves, all made out of wood, they use the screwdriver. So this should work here. Yeah. And you just screw them in. Sometimes it's a little hard to find the screw. A lot of your lighted stuff is a screwdriver. Your grills, whether it's the Grill Master or the barbecue grills, your appliances, that's your stoves, your furniture like the dressers, your microwaves, your air conditioners, your tables are going to need the screwdriver. Yeah, your lawnmowers, your keyboards, your musical equipment like the guitars, VCRs, registers, lights, your frames. Anything that's framed is going to need a screwdriver because of the frame. More lights like your wall lights, the newer lights that got put in, like the wall lights and the cast iron lights and stuff like that. Your fireplace, all of this, I mean, your glasses, your phones, your cameras, that's all going to be used with the screwdriver. Even this table, like the other tables, uses a screwdriver. Okay, sorry. It was getting late. I had to put my guy to bed, so I don't want the blinking to interrupt the video. All right, so fresh new morning, sun's out. All right, so after this, we're going to move over to the thread. You're going to level up. You'll be able to get the thread and needle. That's this guy right here. And thread and needle, it uses a few things. Your beds are going to need the thread and needle. Let me see if this bed, yeah, see. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your thread and needle, use it, and you see it over there. It should highlight. And if it doesn't, just kind of move around and you're good to go. And now that's all fixed, and it'll tell you it needs touch-up paint. You can use the touch-up paint that we have up on the front there, and that bed will be all fixed, just like everything else. So a lot of this is basically your cloth stuff. It makes sense. Your furniture, your chairs, these kind of chairs, stools, beds, sofas, more beds, your cushions, your shirts, your shorts, the rugs, all your shoes, baseballs, scapegoat. Now I think he's the only content creator that needs a thread. I could be wrong on this one. You guys probably really get me on that. That I know of so far. But yeah, we got scapegoats. We got the plants, because I guess the top parts are sewn on. They're not like real plants, so they have to be sewn together. I've actually seen those in real life, so yeah. All your plushie animals. And I guess the Ronald Duck floaties. So all that stuff is going to require the thread to repair. Simple, easy to use. Now, there are some cases where you get, like with the shoes, you could get the right shoe or left shoe. They can actually be paired and get more money. So these are the same as that, except for those have been paired. And this one, I just have the right shoe. And the right shoe is only worth $5 all the way up to $6.75. But when you pair them, the money drastically goes up. So that's another tip. If you find the shoes, try to pair them up and sell them. You get much more money. A lot more money. But there you go. That's the thread. After the thread, you're going to level up again. And the next level up, you're going to get the iron. So with the iron, you're going to sit back and it's simple to remember what the iron needs. It's your cards and your books mainly. You know, that's why this is kind of empty over here. So yeah, so your baseball cards, your sporting goods your like Majestic cards, and your Jokimon cards, plus any book you find, all they take is an iron. And they're the easiest to do. So my suggestion, if you get any of those, fix them up right away and sell them. I wouldn't even send them off to the repair guy. You know, if you hired somebody, just sit back, you spray them off, you iron them, and you sell them. You're good to go. There are some rare ones. They do have sets. Like there's a base Queenfish book called Fishy Adventures. Then you have the autographed one by Queenfish herself, QF. And you got Lord Fish himself. He's got Be the Boss. And then you got How I Manage, autographed by Lord Fish. You got Cans Alone. And then the autographed Cans Alone. You got the basic Catcher in the Eye. Then the oh, that one's not autographed. I didn't bring the autograph one over here. But there's an autograph one. To Fill a Mockingbird, plus the autographed. The Skeeter Rabbit, plus autograph. Those are really good to find. They're worth a lot of money. I'm not going to showcase that now. I'll let you figure that out on your own. And then as far as the last content creator we're going to talk about is Girly Gamer. She is considered, because it's made out of cardboard, the box. Use the iron, straighten it out, you're good to go. You know, they've got the two low, like I said, there's 3 of everything. There's the lowest, the mid, and then the highest level Girly Gamer. So So that's that. So that in all, in a nutshell, is every single tool in the game that you'll need. Later on, you will be able to level up to where you can carry the belt, which is what I have at the bottom of the screen. I'll put an arrow down there. The belt, you can use it without having the canned air or the table. You can use it out in the wild, you know, wherever you want to set it. You know, you can move anything and do anything. So like I said, I don't have, that needs touch-up paint. I don't have touch-up paint over here. So, but you could still break out the touch-up paint, spray it, and then when it's all done, it'll stop making a sound, and now it's in great shape. So there we go. Okay, downtown you're going to find the tool shop. The tool shop is going to have every tool you're going to need in the game, whether it's for your belt or your table. It's the third building and across from the gas station. We're going to go ahead and go on in and show off what they have in the tool shop right here. You can buy more compressed air if you needed another table or anything, or you will need compressed air for, you know, this is a workstation you can buy to hire people to work on stuff, so you won't probably need another compressed air. Going down, we have canned air. With canned air, that's for your belts. So that's where you could buy that from. So if you need canned air for your belt, there you go. You also have the plungers are here. And then you have your putty, the two putties. You got your putty pail for the table, and then your putty knife for your belt. And same with the paint and your detail paint. And the difference is the detail paint is for the table, and the regular paint is for your belt. On the other one, you have your irons. This is the pocket steamer for your belt. The other one is your regular iron for your table. Probably the biggest giveaway is the cost. The cheapest price goes onto the table. The higher priced goes on your belt. So if you're ever confused at the early beginning and can't remember the name of which one to grab, just look at the two different prices. Like the travel sewing kit is $10, regular thread is $7.50. So obviously the travel one is for your belt. And then this is the sewing kit you'll need for your table. And same with, this is what you're going to run into first when you level up and you get the screwdriver. You come down, buy yourself a screwdriver set, you're good to go. Later on, you can get the regular screwdriver that goes on your belts. And like I said, you do have the tables. And when you see this guy, he also sells a rotating workbench, which you can set on your table and it'll spin stuff around. Some people use it, some people don't. It's really cool to have for $49. I won't get too deep into these other tools because I haven't talked about them at all. But he also sells, there's fishing in the game that you'll get to, and he sells different magnets. It's magnet fishing, and it pulls items out of the river and the lake and everything. So you can go magnet fishing. Any extra magnets you find along the way, you can walk up and sell the magnets to him. And then on top of that, there is an area. I'll pull it up on the map real quick. There is an area that that's down here that has some buildings that you can lockpick. So you can buy up to 10 lockpicks at a time, and this is where you can get the lockpicks. So that's about it with the tools. So you have the tool shop. We've run through the whole entire tool process. And when you level up, hopefully this helps you guys out. Anybody who's still learning the game or trying to figure some stuff out, hopefully this helps you out. I'm going to end this video, and hopefully I can get more videos out to help everybody in some yard sale simulator, or maybe some other games I might want to do some little tutorials or short videos on, just to help people through if they have any questions. Like I said, if I missed anything vital or whatnot, go ahead and give me the comments. I don't know everything about the game, forewarning, but I try to help with what knowledge I have and pass it on to everybody else so that it can help somebody else out. So there we go. And if this is something you like, make sure you definitely hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. You're more than welcome to. And that's about all I got to say. Wish you guys luck, have fun with the game, and bye-bye.